Good evening, and thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News 10 at 10. I'm Tom Sherry. Mark's off this evening. We are tracking several wildfires across the state tonight, each with varying levels of evacuations in place. So here's what you need to know. In Soap Lake tonight, what started as a larger fire earlier this evening was knocked down to about 150 acres. And within the last hour, we're told, has been completely knocked down. Now, earlier this afternoon, there were level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations in place. Since then, all of those evacuation orders have been lifted. And along the Washington-Oregon state line, more than 10,000 acres are burning near Walla Walla. According to the Umatilla County Fire District, fire officials are having a difficult time fighting that large fire because of high wind and low visibility. There are evacuations in place for areas along Hartle Road, Wallula Road, and Hatch Grade Road. And over in Okanagan County, we're tracking 2 smaller fires that are prompting evacuations. Fire officials are calling the first one the Spring Coulee Fire. Now, this is burning about 10 acres south of Omak. There are level 2 evacuation orders in place there, which means be ready to leave if you're in this area. And the second is the Rock Creek Fire. Now, that is also burning 10 acres with level 1 evacuation orders. Both are 0% contained at this hour. Well, all the fires that we've covered tonight are still developing. We're going to continue to bring you updates both on the air as well as online. In the meantime, wildfires usually mean a dip in our air quality. So let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo to find out if we can expect any smoke in our area. Jeremy?
Well, thankfully, Tom, a lot of this smoke is getting blown away rather quickly. Our big concern kind of remains the wind. The good news is wind is starting to ease on the backside of the frontal boundary moving through. We are seeing a drastic change in some of the wind out in central Washington already, but some wind gusts already topping 60 miles per hour in parts of central Washington. That does include Wenatchee and some of the surrounding communities. But believe it or not, we have seen wind die down a bit. Right now, we still sit at gusts or sustained wind, at 23 miles per hour in Spokane, 21 over in Coeur d'Alene, and that likely continues to just kind of ebb overnight. We'll watch our gusts fall from in the mid-30s down into the 20s, and by tomorrow morning, right around 20. I know that still sounds rather windy because it is, but it's a far cry from where we've been. Let me draw the frontal boundary on the map. It is moving over the top of us in Spokane as we speak. And as it moves out, we are going to catch a break. But tomorrow, it looks like a few showers as the low pressure center slides overhead.
Thank you, Jeremy. Just into our newsroom within the last 2 hours, a Spokane Public School Board member has announced his resignation on Twitter. Riley Smith said that he'll be leaving his position effective June 16th. He wants to accept a public service position. In a statement, Smith wrote, "I want to thank the Spokane community for electing me to the board as the second youngest board member in SPS history. I have full faith in the board to appoint someone who shares the same core values and perspectives that I brought to the dais." Now on to a story that we've been tracking since just after 3 this afternoon. A garbage truck crashed into an elementary school parking lot, hitting several cars after deputies say that it was run off the road by an aggressive driver. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk shows us what happened.
Around 6 tonight, Upriver Drive reopened and tow trucks started hauling away some of the damaged cars, and there's quite a few of them here. The superintendent of the West Valley School District is just thankful that no students or staff were injured or even near the crash when it happened.
Skid marks and mangled metal, a dramatic scene outside Palisades Park Elementary School following a crash which sent 2 people to the hospital, one with life-threatening injuries. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says the driver of this Ford Taurus was driving recklessly on Upriver Drive around 2:30 this afternoon, trying to pass cars on the 2-lane road. Deputies say a waste management garbage truck going the opposite direction was forced to swerve out of the way. The truck went through a fence, then over a retaining wall and into the school's parking lot, squishing this unoccupied truck and damaging several other vehicles. West Valley Superintendent Kyle Rydell says at the time of the crash, students were outside playing kickball behind the building.
The principal heard the noise, saw kind of a poof of dust, and then kind of came around the corner of the building and saw that there was this accident. So they were swift as far as the staff interaction and involvement. helping with the police department.
The suspected reckless driver struck a fence and had to be extricated. They're in the hospital with possibly life-threatening injuries. That driver could face charges if they survive. The driver of the garbage truck was also injured and taken to the hospital to be evaluated. As deputies investigated, upriver was blocked in both directions for several hours.
This is our last week of school too, so we're in the final stages of closing out the school year. And so, yeah, this does change a little bit of that end of year festivity.
In West Valley, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
In national news, former President Donald Trump addressed supporters at his New Jersey golf club just hours after pleading not guilty to 37 criminal counts in a Miami courtroom. In his speech, Trump called the indictment an abuse of power.
The Espionage Act has been used to go after traitors and spies. It has nothing to do with a former president legally keeping his own documents.
According to the indictment, the highly sensitive documents kept at Mar-a-Lago included information about the U.S. nuclear program and the military activities of our adversaries. Now tonight, meet with a quick look at the day's top stories. The man suspected of several shootings in Spokane pleaded not guilty to all charges today, which includes assault. Was arrested late last month after a standoff with police on Spokane South Hill. One person was injured in the shooting on North Foothills Drive in the Logan neighborhood. His trial is expected to begin on August 7th. The city of Spokane and the Spokane Police Guild have reached a tentative agreement over new contracts. The city says the new contracts would be for 4 years and would include a raise each of those years. It would also compensate officers for any educational degrees. The contract must be approved by the Spokane City Council. At noon tonight, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man for violating the sex offender registry 4 times. Deputies say that Ryan Eric Gallagher is a former Los Angeles police officer. He was originally convicted of lewd conduct, including several acts of indecent exposure at California beaches. Well, tonight, he's accused of failing to update mandatory information, which is required by law. Well, that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000, and we'll send them right to your phone. Well, you may have noticed something new on some of the I-90 on-ramps this evening. That's because new ramp meters went into operation at the Geiger and Grove I-90 on-ramps just hours ago. WashDOT says the goal is to space out cars and control the flow of traffic onto the freeway.
One of the big benefits is a reduction in congestion. So as you slow and meter the rate of flow of vehicles onto I-90, it kind of creates better flow throughout the entire system through Spokane. So that's one of the big benefits. And then it creates gapping spaces. So you get a safety benefit as well.
Well, the meters are going to run between 3 and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Meantime, a step forward for the north-south freeway took place today. There was a groundbreaking. The portion started today is expected to cost about $68 million, but it will cut local commute time significantly.
Because we're going to be getting people off of Division, Market, Hamilton, and stopping that stop-and-go traffic and getting them going in a clean, easy direction.
So the entire project is expected to be completed in 2030. And that was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.